So many of you guys know we talk about the grifters and liars and the clowns on YouTube in the finance space pretty often on this channel. And now it looks like the Twitter community is finally starting to catch on. Let me go ahead and show you guys this tweet right here. So StockTwits posted a tweet about Graham Stephan. And as you can clearly see right here, it got 1 million views. So, you know, people are really starting to catch on. I understand that these clowns have huge followings, but at some point people finally catch on, and it's really good to see. So StockTwits, for those who don't know, StockTwits is like this big like social media platform geared towards like trading and traders and people to like share their ideas and investment theses and just different things like that. So StockTwits, their actual official Twitter account, which has 978,000 followers, shared this tweet right here. They said nothing changes sentiment like price. And then you can clearly see what they have pictured here is 4 different videos by Graham Stephan. The first one is how to use the 2023 market crash to get rich, why you'll regret buying stocks in 2023, the Fed just crashed the market. This is literally what Graham Stephan was saying literally just 3 months ago, literally 5 months ago, literally 6 months ago. And then next thing you know, now that stocks are doing well and we're in this crazy tech bubble again, and all the Cathie Wood stocks are flying to the moon like Palantir, and Nvidia's going to the moon, and the S&P 500 is looking really good, and the NASDAQ has exploded. Now Graham Stephan makes a video that says how to get rich in a 2023 bull market. And what StockTwits is saying is nothing changes sentiment like price. And they're absolutely right. When the S&P 500 was red and just going down and lower and lower and lower and not doing well, and stocks weren't going up and the price action wasn't looking good, Graham Stephan was making all these doom and gloom videos. And it wasn't just him. So was me, Kevin. So was Andre Jig. So was, you know, who else? The list goes on. These guys were literally using their platforms to basically be a fear-mongering platform on steroids. That's all they were doing. They weren't giving any actual real analysis or any real good advice on stocks, which honestly, what they should have been telling people is instead of why you'll regret buying stocks in 2023 and the Fed just crashed the market, blah, blah, blah. What they should have been doing is they should have told everybody, hey, in order to be a good investor, you have to ignore the noise. Just find good companies that are undervalued and buy them. That's really what it comes down to. Find great companies, do research on them. You know, if you're an individual stock investor, and, you know, go ahead and buy them if you think that they're undervalued and you think that in the future they'll be much higher for a multitude of different reasons, whether it's cash flow, whether it's growth, whatever you think it is. Or you could just tell people, ignore all the noise, just keep buying your index fund and put your head down. Just buy your index fund every month. Who cares what the market's doing? What's going to matter to you is what the market is going to do in the next 40, 50, 60 years. In the next 40, 50, 60 years, the market will very likely be much higher than it is today. That would be the better advice. But instead, these YouTubers continue to send you off. And I'm so glad that StockTwits called it, because this is literally what happens. This has been happening since these clowns on YouTube first came on YouTube and started talking about stocks during the pandemic. They literally came on, and when stocks were going to the moon, they're making all these happy videos and all these crazy videos. This stock's going to 10X. This stock's going to 20X. This stock's going to go to the moon. You know, they were just saying all this crazy stuff. And here's where the other part comes in too. These guys don't just say this because they're dumb, which they are. They're dumb. They know nothing about stocks. They are no smarter than the retail investors who follow them. But it goes deeper than that. They are so money hungry and views oriented. Like, they literally treat YouTube like a business. And I don't mean like a business. Like, it's okay to treat YouTube like a business because it is a business. I get it. But there still has to be some morality. There still has to be some care for your fans. These guys are like cutthroat. They're like, whatever will get views. Like, seriously, if these guys could make videos on like freaking, I don't know, how to fraudulently take out a PPP loan, and they thought it would get like millions of views, they would do it. Like, these guys are scum of the earth. They would make any sort of video in order to get views. That's all they care about. And we clearly see this because these guys are giving terrible advice. And like I said, StockTwits pointed it out, which shout out to him. He literally got 1 million views, which is amazing. And then, you know, if you just look at some of the comments, I don't know if I'm going to show it up on the screen because I don't have my laptop, but, you know, you just got people laughing. You know, everybody's just kind of laughing. Then this other guy named Fired Up Well said all about clicks for the big channels. That's how they get bigger. Drama sells. People need to stop watching that dude's unsolicited advice. Isn't he a realtor? Then somebody said, I stopped watching this content a long time ago. but I used to like his financial advice. And then another person said one of the biggest grifters out there by the time Graham is Cardone's age. Don't even want to imagine that version, but at least better than Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Somebody else said, great example of way not to follow YouTube finance guru. Then somebody else said, I love it when my realtor gives me investment advice. I'm telling you guys, these people are crazy. And then you just got a bunch of people who are just saying anything for clicks, the best clickbaiter on YouTube, on financial YouTube. This is amazing to see because I've been calling these guys out for a long time. You know, these guys are absolute clowns. I've been saying this. We talk about this. They do not care about you. Andre Jig, me, Kevin, Stock Mo, Graham, Stephan, all of them. They do not care about you. They never cared about you. They're so dumb when it comes to investing. Literally, whatever the price action is doing in terms of stocks and the S&P 500, that's what they're doing. They're just going with the tide. They're not ahead of the curve at all. That's who you want to follow. You want to follow an investor who's ahead of the curve. You know, some of my favorites, Stone Cold Investors, I like him. Kingdom of Finance, I really like Kingdom of Finance. Fabio Capital Mindset, the Investor Channel, you know, the Money Guy Show. You know, these are people who are for the most part ahead of the curve. The Money Guy Show is more so just overall financial advice, but the other four that I mentioned are more so, in my opinion, they're for the most part ahead of the curve when it comes to investing. You know, when stocks are going down, they're kind of ignoring the noise. Honestly, they don't even really talk about macroeconomics that much because they don't care. They're just like, hey, you know, you guys can fool around with all that foolishness, you know, all CPI data and the market's going to crash, win and all. They're just like, dude, I'm just going to find good companies that I like and I'm just going to buy them. And that is literally the way to invest. And it's been successful for so many people. I mean, you look at somebody like Fabio Capital Mindset, he's done very well. He's been beating the market. He's got some very good picks. I know one of his picks right now, KRC Kilroy, is up pretty big right now. You know, there are a lot of people in his own community who basically said that stock is trash. And, you know, they kind of got on him for it because I'm in his Discord. So I saw that. And now you fast forward, the thing's up like, what, 30% or something like that? I was looking at it. I got on my watch list. And yeah, Fabio's really good. He does his thing. But, you know, that's just my point. I just really wish that the people who actually knew what they were talking about got most of the views. It's really sad that the people with the shiny thumbnails and the fancy editing, but give really awful advice and just really chase the clickbait stuff. And, you know, they just kind of swing with wherever the tide's going. They're like fair weather fans. Like when the stock market is booming and doing well, then all of a sudden they're like, hey, let me teach you how to make money in this booming stock market, which is actually the opposite, by the way. When the market's going up and going crazy and we're in a freaking tech bubble, which we are in right now, that's not the time to, pile all your money in NVIDIA at the all-time high. Like, no, that's so dumb. Yeah, put all your money in the Palantir when it's up 130%. Yeah, great idea, Sherlock. That's so dumb. What they should have been doing is instead of saying the Fed market crash is here and everybody's going to die, sell your stocks now. What they should have been telling you is, here's why I'm buying stocks now, or here's why I'm ignoring the noise and buying the S&P 500. Here's why I'm buying index funds, because all of this crap is irrelevant. I'm investing for the next 40, 50 years. I don't care what the stock market does this year. I don't care what it does next year. I don't care what it does in 2030 because I'm retiring in 2058. You see what I'm saying? That is where I'm getting at here. So Graham Stephan is still a clown. I will never forget what you did with this FTX stuff. You never really apologized for that. You're still an awful person. You and all your creators, agency, scam, clown, awful human beings on YouTube who made a bunch of money off of grifting a bunch of naive people who, unfortunately, to this day, still don't know anything about stocks, which is why they follow you and think you're a genius. It just kills me, man. It's absolutely insane. So anyway, that's my video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.